gave them the notion that it's alright. Doesn't matter. My things up and running. Oh, there we go. 86. Hello, welcome in. We got some news to you guys today. Certainly a lot of news, and a lot of juicy news as well. I'm certainly going to make the EU and Russia look very bad today. You know, it's not going to be fun for the EU. I don't have that big of a voice, but still going to do it. So, the EU has blocked grain shipment from Ukraine. Is there a Bulgarian? Oh, yeah, and more explosions in Kharkiv as well. Just so you know that. That's happening back there. And more stuff happening than... More important than that, you know. We are seeing a drone that has crash-landed. That is possibly a Russian drone that has, again, crash-landed in a NATO country. This is not Romania. This is Bulgaria. Bulgaria is the country next to Romania. That drone traveled pretty fucking far out. And we're hearing explosions in Donetsk and all kinds of areas. Poltava and Dnipro just turned on here. Let's get into the news of the hour here. Oh, crane's turning red. Alright. A Danish parliament, a Danish party, has officially stated that they are condoning the idea behind child-looking sex dolls. You heard me right. The second biggest party of the now elected officials inside, and actually our foreign secretary or foreign minister, his parliament or his party says that they officially support, well, not, they haven't made the official claims, but many inside of their official party has claimed that they officially support the idea of kids' sex dolls being delivered or being prescribed to... What's going on there? Pedophiles. Specifically those who are battling the ideas of pedophilia. However, as much as I don't like the idea, there is some meritism to it. Of course, it keeps them away from the idea of doing it to someone who's, you know, real, a human. However, I don't think it's going to clinch the thought of the of doing it in reality, clinching the first. Now, instead of actually giving them the proper help that they should be giving them, no, they've given the idea that, you know, it's alright. Have sex with children. That's what their whole agenda appears to be. Don't know, but we'll have to keep an eye on it. If it gets passed in the European Parliament, the Danish Parliament, then the European Parliament, one of their constituents, who was a candidate for the European Parliament, who's a Danish candidate, has said that she supports the idea and actually is the one who came up with the initiative. So, in all reality, is Danish and the European Parliament gonna legalize the idea of children's sex dolls being described to pedophiles? We don't know. Follow me for more later on. We're gonna get to that eventually. However, we're gonna get to the real news about Ukraine here. This is just a little side note. So we're gonna start with some EU and UN news. There's been a lot of interesting developments, especially these things about Ukraine grain deal not being accepted anymore. There's a lot of stuff coming here. However, we're gonna start out here. The hell. Talk 22 to the forehead. Yeah. I mean, the only idea, right, that they don't want to give them the proper help. No, they want to spend money on importing children's sex dolls to be able to give them to pedophiles. The idea behind it is that, and also a official party member of the second biggest party in the UN, the second biggest party in Denmark, has said that he thinks it's a brilliant idea. So, this is a little bit of an inside source. Don't tell the others that I said so. Okay. We will no longer send weapons to Ukraine, is the Slovakian election campaign leader Robert Fico plans to cancel military political support for Ukraine, Associated Press. Slovakia, the leader, he's a campaign, so they're running campaigns right now, and he's running for office, and he doesn't want to support them anymore. It is a dangerous shift happening in Europe. Stuff is happening. Fico is a populist former prime minister who led Slovakia from 2006 to 2010 and 2012 to 2018. Is a candidate for prime minister again. He and his left-wing Simar party are campaigning for a clear pro-Russian, anti-American message, the publication writes. In an interview with the Associated Press, he said that no amount of Western weapons supplied to Ukraine will change the course of the conflict. It's mere interest to government. We will no longer send arms and ammunition to Ukraine, Fico said. He said the European Union and the United States should use their influence to force Russia and Ukraine to reach a compromise deal. Peace deal. It is naive to think that Russia will leave Crimea. It is naive to think that Russia will ever leave the territory it controls. He said, okay, there's some weird text here. Figo said that he is against the upcoming Ukraine membership to NATO. It will lead to a third world war, he says. Repeats the Russian narrative about the cost of Ukrainian conflict, including Putin unsubstantially claims that the Ukrainian government runs a Nazi state from which ethnic Russians in the east of the country must be protected. Yeah, so that's their whole agenda right now. The Slovakian president, or at least the candidate, who's also, by the way, has been a candidate and a prime minister 2 times, has run again. He's a popular one, and they're supposedly he wants to cancel out the deals to Ukraine. I'm not sure how much effect that's going to have. However, it could be a spinning wheel, right? One falls, the other falls, the other falls. Okay, we have a cool video here. Well, it's definitely a video. A Soviet memorial being taken down on the 80th anniversary of the Soviet invasion of Poland. Check this out. What are that floating around? Something would happen. I have not heard of anything, gamer. What are you what you got there for me? I haven't heard anything official. So, but we have a video here from what is I believe from Poland. So Soviet memorial being taken down on the 80th anniversary of the Soviet invasion of Poland. So look at that, just smashing it to pieces. That guy seems very into it. I mean, he seems like he's really enjoying what he's doing. I feel like that guy just came there because he wanted to. You want to hammer something here? Yeah! When are we going to be there? Oh, you have to be here at 6 a.m. I'm going to be there at 3 a.m. That's how ready he was. They're getting it ready. Some small amounts of steel there. Yeah. Yeah, you know, I mean, the guy, he's ready to do it. He's just not that strong. Not smashing the Soviet symbol up there. I don't have a full video, but it is to show out that Poland, especially, is going anti-Russian. Well, that happened for a while, you know. By the way, if you want to know how the guy looks like, this is the Slovakian former prime minister who's running for office again here. So yeah, there it is. That's him. Poland Defense Minister Maurice Blaszczak has come under fire after disclosing top-secret document of the country's military for election campaign. The declassified documents indicated a plan for a large-scale retreat of the Polish army across the Vistula River in the event of a Russian invasion. In total, it was planned to surrender 40% of Poland's territory in the event of an invasion. It is indirectly indicated that NATO forces in 2011 needed up to 14 days for the deployment of international military contingent. contingency. The territory of Poland and the beginning of the resistance to the Russian invasion. At this time, the Polish army had to restrain the enemy on its own gaining time. When simulating such hostilities in 2020 during the SEMA 20 staff exercise, disappointing results were obtained. On the 5th day of the virtual conflict, the enemy was on the Vistula line. There was battles from Warsaw. Strategic posts were blocked or captured. As a result of the exercise, the Polish aviation fleet was destroyed. Despite the support of the NATO campaigning continues in... Oh shit, I gotta turn off the sound of these guys. Forgot about that. My bad, guys. What we got? Continues to campaign. Poland ahead of the October 15 Parliament elections and 4-question referendum. Votes will be asked whether they approved of the privatism of the state-owned enterprise, increase the retirement age, admission of immigration under the EU relocation mechanism, and removal of the barrier of the Poland border with Belarus. You know, this is all the simulated that they've done. You know, the United States has also done simulation of a war against China. They have also said that they're gonna lose, you know, things like I have the video. I don't speak Polish, so you're gonna have to just assume what he says.
W razie wojny był gotowy oddać
But what he's
połowę
basically here
życia
is
sił
showing
zbrojnych
off
zatwierdzony
these right here, right? So what he's doing is, you want to run for campaign office. He wants to run for office. He's now riding on the idea that Poland is not ready for a war. And in fact, he's riding on the idea that the current administration wants to give up 40% of the territory, meaning that 40% of Polish, you know, territory where a good amount of people live are going to be subjugated under the Russian regime there. So that's what he's riding on as he's using fear as a sort of a campaign. And you know, using fear as a campaign for your electoral, you know, ideas is so stupid, because it's improve yourself as leader. If your idea is that we're gonna get ready for war, you're too late, buddy, because Poland is ready for war, you know.
Polski. Planu życia sił zbrojnych zatwierdzony przez ówczesnego szefa Monklicha zakładał, że samodzielna obrona kraju potrwa maksymalnie 2 tygodnie. A po 7 dniach wróg dotrze do prawego brzegu Wisły. Potwierdza to generał Różański, były dowódca generalny. Dokumenty dobitnie pokazują, że Lublin...
Okay, so that's the ideology that they were saying, that that's just what the territory was going to look like in case of a Russian invasion. It actually looks a lot like the 1921 invasion of the Red Army during Lenin, who the Polish actually managed to, you know, repel. So it's really, I mean, that's document, and this was actually made in 2011, as you said. And the idea is that in 2011, we all thought that Russia was the second best army in the world. And, you know, that's when they made this. So he's saying that Russia could do this today, which they can't. Russia can't do this today. They're not going to be able to do this. Because, by the way, they don't have the fucking materials. The manpower, you know, it's going to be strange how much manpower they're going to put in there. Unless you're general mobilizing everybody, you know. The manpower and this equipment that Poland has is, you know, despite being so much smaller, is vast outnumbering what the Russians have left, and they're modern as well. So this, you know, scenario which he's riding on as his idea for how he gets elected is not going to happen. He's not saying, oh, I want to help Poland, right? I want to help Poland. You know, I want to make sure this doesn't happen, and it's not going to happen. So, you know, the idea is he's going to be elected to office, right? But if Russia ever invades, he says, oh, look at that, it didn't happen. So I was right. You know, I'm the best president ever. Yeah, we knew it wasn't going to happen. You know? Okay, and we have some other videos here, and this was from the Polish border with Belarus here. The Polish border guard has released a video of Lukashenko illegal migrants walking up to the Polish border guards and saying, "We like Germany, fuck you, Poland." Then they hurled their threats at the Poles. Do they deserve permanent residency in the EU? Well, that's a hardline statement. You know, check this video out. And this is not me trying to be anti-propaganda here. This is just a video that was taken, and I'm going to show you. The reason why I'm showing it is because of the educational purpose here, to show that, in fact, he is... Have you heard of... Yeah, I have heard of that gamer. I'm gonna get to that later in the video. I've got a whole thing about it, so don't worry. So what they're because Lukashenko is actually pushing. He's taking people in from all kinds of countries around the world, from the Middle East, that are trying to push through Belarus to get into the EU. And this is what happens here. This is what Lukashenko. This is why we call him a dictator, because not only is he a dictator, but this is what he does, And he uses a gun, right? And he says like, "I'm gonna shoot you." Listen to what this guy says.
I love Germany. Poland. Okay.
Yeah, peace. He says, "Oh, I'm gonna shoot you." Yeah.
Goodbye.
Right.
I love you.
And also, the statement said that he was making death threats. Okay. Yeah, it's not really death threats. He's just using a gun. I mean, yeah, it's a death threat, but it's not, death threats. Finger gun, death threats.
This? Poland.
Yeah. Certainly very disrespectful young man. Not a very respectful. He says he loves Germany. So. German foreign minister calls Xi Jinping a dictator. You guys saw the video. I showed it, but we're going to read aloud here. If Putin won this war, what sign would that be? This is what she said. What kind of sign would this be for other dictators in the world like Xi Jinping, the chairman of China? Annalena Baerbock said this, and she's the German foreign minister. She is something foreign minister, prime something. Interview with Fox, and Beijing has made their official rebootment here. Have already made their official. Hey, shut up. Beijing has already sent a protest to Berlin through diplomatic channels. Chinese foreign minister spokeswoman Mao Ning called these words an outright political provocation and seriously damaging to the Chinese political prestige. Yeah, so China has already made their, rebuke, and yeah, it was expected. China always makes their rebukes, and I don't disagree with the de facto line that Xi Jinping is a dictator, because the idea is that if the UN was to make a search in the into China, they would have the documents and a legitimate reason to call China a de facto dictatorship. So yeah, Well, we have other news here about Russia. This is from the UN. The Hague, or how you want to put it. The UN International Court of Justice hearings began in the case against the Russian Federation of charges of violation of the Convention of the Prohibition of Genocide. Ukraine proved that Russian Federation manipulated when it argued for full-scale invasion by saying that it wanted to protect people in Donbass from genocide. The court will hear arguments from the parties within 2 weeks. So I got a picture of it here. These are some of the first pictures here that they've gotten together. We see the Federation of Russia and Ukraine, and they're making. They're gonna stand up. They're gonna talk to each other. So this is one of the first time. Well, not the first time, but some of the rare times that Russia and Ukraine is standing across from each other, making talks to each other, talking about the genocides. Bucha, the genocide of Bucha, stuff like that. Okay, here we get to the more juicy news here. Poland will block Ukraine's accession to the EU if grain export issues are not resolved. This is stated by the Polish Minister of Agriculture, Robert Tylus. TVN24 reports. If we do not create tools today, Poland will definitely not agree to Ukraine's accession to the European Union. So they're going to block the EU membership of Ukraine, as well as they have also said blocking NATO membership. So this is all going off the hinge here. Dutch Defense Ministry employee arrested. Sorry, that was not read right. Dutch Defense Ministry employee arrested for exporting aircraft parts to Russia. 2 men in the Netherlands, one of who worked for the Dutch Defense Ministry, have been arrested on suspicion of evading sanctions against Russia. The Dutch Fiscal Information and Investigation Service, FIOD, announced on September 15th. So this is some time ago. This is the first time I've got it. Don't know why we didn't get it before. My bad. So moving on to Germany here as well. There is some good news coming out here from the EU. Germany announced a new military aid package to Kyiv worth 400 million euros. The country's defense ministry, Boris Pistorius, yeah, that's his real name, told this in an interview with Bild, or B-I-L-D, Bild, yeah. He said that the new package will include high explosive ammunition, mortar ammunition, and rockets, protective vehicles, and demining systems. It will also include warm clothing and generators. At the same time, Pistorov, the defense minister, said that the country's government had not yet made a decision on allocating TARS cruise missile with a range of 500 kilometers to Ukraine. So they're still talking about that. It is a crucial decision. However, I do agree that it's a decision, because it means 500 kilometers can rush. They can strike Russia wherever they want, and it's a Germany. They shouldn't be afraid to do it, but it's Germany, and they're afraid, and it's understandable in some ways. But okay, moving on. Romanian Prime Minister Marcel Ciolasu said Romania will ban the import of Ukrainian agriculture product for another 30 days, as reported today. And again, this is coming out from everybody. Apparently wants to ban the import of grain, and there are many reasons why. They're wanting to do it because, well, they're afraid that the market is gonna crash for their own markets. So, and they're also, the Russian missile threat and all that kind of stuff, and the import of Ukrainian grain that used to keep the markets down is now up, because their markets are going to go up, because Ukraine is not exporting grain. Ukraine was exporting about 400 million tons of it. I don't know how much, but it was a lot of tons, and it's part of half of their economy or something. So they're exporting a lot. It's a large agricultural country. So now what they're looking at is the idea that well, they're not going to, hi Vaughn, how you doing? That they're not going to be introducing any more grains in from Ukraine, because their markets are going up, they're earning money. So it's really a greedy game here. However, it does mean that countries in the undeveloped world are not receiving what they should be receiving. So this is also a sort of a hardline decision here. It's a decision that they're doing because of the idea of money. So money is greedy. Money makes greedy men. That's what it is. Okay. The EU foreign minister to meet in Kyiv in October. The next EU Foreign Affairs Council meeting will likely be held in Kyiv at the beginning of October. The Italian news agency ANSA reported on September 18th, citing 3 unnamed sources. So the EU foreign ministers to meet in Kyiv in October. Yeah, so there's a lot of meetings going on along with Zelensky and all kinds of things. So gonna keep you updated on that. There's one thing I want to show you a video of. The elected campaign. He's running a campaign. You probably know him if you live in the U.S. U.S. Republican president candidate Vicky Rasamwe, or how you want to Ramsey Whammy. I don't know. He's Hindu. I would make a deal that would end the war in Ukraine, freeze current control line. Yes, that means giving part of Donbass to Russia. It would make a firm commitment that NATO will not accept Ukraine. And here you go. A video of him talking about it. Don't condone any of these things that he's saying. Point that out. I'm going to show you.
Negotiate a deal that ends.
There you have it.
Would negotiate a deal that ends the Ukraine war, freeze the current lines of control. Yes, that means giving part of the Donbass region to Russia. I would make a hard commitment that NATO never admits Ukraine
and
to NATO.
And Kherson region. And it's part of the Donbass region is what he's saying. Luhansk region, Donbass region, Zaporizhzhia region, and Kherson region, which is a massive line of on control, which would make the Russian narrative we're winning. So that's his idea of we're gonna do it. You know, we're gonna end this war. As to point out that Vicky is going to be going into an electoral campaign of being a president in a time of where the United States can barely afford to live. You know, a lot of people are coming out with stories that are incredible. They can barely afford to pay the rent. Some people are going on the streets. New York is seeing extreme amount of people that are ending up on the streets. There's no funds coming in. There's no help coming in. It is getting close to becoming one of the serious conditions that the Americans have not gone through since probably, well, some of the greater crashes. I mean, not the Depression, obviously that was an extreme crash, but you know, maybe Black Monday in the 80s and Black Friday, I think that's what they called, you know, or The Big Short in 2008. And they're heading into this idea of a recession. We're not completely saying that they're heading into a recession. However, that has been stated. And he wants to run for a campaign. He wants to run a country that's on the edge of recession, which is not something I'm saying. It's come from experts. They're saying that America is on the edge of recession. However, he wants to run a country and do that, you know, and saying, but every time Russia comes over, he's going to bend down and allow, you know, Russia to do whatever it wants. So you want an electoral campaign officer, the United States president, a man who doesn't tolerate pressure from anybody, right? Because if they pressure him at any point, he's just going to bend over and let them do what they want, you know? So you think that man right there is going to carry you through some of the hardest economic downturn America has seen in years? No, I don't think so. So please, I mean, it's up to you. I'm not gonna say you vote on who you want to vote on. If he's in your ideals, vote on him. You know, if he respects your ideals and vote on him. I'm not saying you shouldn't. It's up to you and yourself. That's why we live in a democracy. However, I will say, I wouldn't. So that's all I will say. There's also another video. Trump always said he would end the war within 24 hours of if he was in power. Doing an interview with the NBC News, he clarified his intention. Ukraine has to give up its part of its sovereign land unlawfully occupied by Russia. He's kind of he's double entendre, right? Because Ukraine is going to give up parts of sovereign land to unlawful occupied by Russia. What does that mean? And what does giving up unlawful land to an enemy? You know, this is stupid because you don't give up land to somebody when you're in fucking war. You fight on, right? And you fight on to the bloody fucking end. I mean, it's going to be fucking bloody. Like, what did Winston Churchill say? He said, if you're walking through hell, keep going, you know? How you doing, Patrick? How you doing? So here's his statement, and we can get to see the video. This is something that could have been negotiated. There were certain parts of Crimea, other parts of the country that people expected could happen. You have made a deal. They could have made a deal where these are less territory right now that Russia has already taken. So, you see, the idea is that Trump and Vicky and all these presidential candidates are bending over and saying, "Oh, yeah, let's give in to pressure from Russia, a failing army, right?" But no, you keep going, no matter what, you know. And these people, they're the people that's going to be elected for a time in America where they're so fucking pressured, right? The pressure on the American economy is so fucking great. Again, repeating myself here, but people can barely afford to live, and you want to pick leaders that can barely stand on their own feet when it comes to pressure. It's ridiculous. All right, well, let's watch the interview here. This is from NBC. So please don't copyright me. This is just educational, YouTube. It's just educational.
People hear you say you're going to end the war in 24 hours, and they worry that means President Putin is going to get to keep the territory he's unlawfully
I'd make a fair deal for everybody. Nope.
Doesn't mean that? Wouldn't be a win for Putin?
You know, that's something that could have been negotiated because there were certain parts, Crimea and other parts of the country that a lot of people expected could happen. You could have made a deal. So they could have made a deal where there's less territory right now than Russia's already taken, to be honest. And you could have made a deal where nobody was killed. They had a deal. They would have had a Ukraine country. Now nobody even knows if Ukraine is going to be totally taken over. I will say this.
No.
Something's going on, and it's not good for Ukraine.
I want to ask you, some
He's saying it's not good
people
for
here-
Ukraine. No, something that's going on, right, is that Russia is invading a country that it had, in fact, a deal with. Russia had a deal with Ukraine, and it said, oh, we want to invade you. In exchange for your nuclear weapons, we want to invade you. They invaded it, and now he's saying something's going on. And he's saying that we are going to make a deal with Russia? That's feeding into the Russian narrative, and they can do whatever the fuck they want. And I mean, it's just sitting on your asses and doing nothing. It's so fucking stupid. That's a rant, you know. But let's get on to some mystery news here. The mystery F-35 crash in the U.S. Marine Corps USMC. F-35B fighter jet crashed and the pilot managed to eject from the plane, but the aircraft cannot be found as the F-35B was put on autopilot prior to the ejection. So things are thickening. Things are weird. We have another thing here. The plot thickens on the F-35. It's on autopilot with no pilot, says the report here. Authorities, let me get to look at this right here. Authorities said that the pilot of the jet put the aircraft on autopilot before ejecting over North Charleston. So they put the thing in autopilot before ejecting. Authorities said that there's no evidence of crash. North Charleston CS military officials are searching for a jet after a mishap that forced the pilot to eject, but officials say that there's no evidence that the aircraft has crashed. According to the spokesperson for the Joint Base Charleston, the incident began around 2 p.m. when two pilots were flying. One of the jets landed at Joint Base Charleston without incident, but the officials said the other pilot flying an F-35B Lightning II enabled an unspecified automated flight system and ejected over North Charleston. Again, this is from Funker530. Check him out on Twitter. Here he is. So check him out. Go to it, but we're gonna not do that right now. So yeah, again, so there's some other news here, and we have the search pattern that they're doing. The U.S. military is searching for the missing F-35 in South Carolina after the pilot ejected yesterday, and the jet kept flying. If you see an F-35 in the woods, please contact the U.S. Marines. Yeah, or if you see it in your house, please contact the U.S. Marines. If the jet landed on your house, please contact the U.S. Marines. So here's the flight pattern, and here you can see that they're searching around down here. So yeah, they don't know. They don't fucking know. They don't know what it is. It's weird because apparently the pilot actually made a unlawful or some kind of weird, unscheduled, or how you say, undisciplined, or would you put it, unplanned autopilot system engagement, and then ejected from the plane for no reason. Apparently they said it was system failure. However, there was no reports of it before he ejected, and why would he put it into autopilot while he was about to land? You know, you don't put, I mean, I don't know much about planes, but I know that you don't put a plane into autopilot before you right before you land. I mean, I know you fly with autopilot most of the time, but before you land, especially when it's a jet, it just seems weird. And he ejected, and there was no really any reports on the effect that that it was actually having failures. It's F-35, you know. So we also have the price cost of it. So we have a last statement here. I'm gonna get to that. The USMC, the U.S. Marines F-35B, a fifth generation fighter jet costing around $135 million per aircraft, which is extensive. It could be found because the jet's transponder was not couldn't be found because the jet's transponder was not working at the time of the incident. In an appeal posted to the social media, Joint Base Charleston asked the public to contact the base if anyone had information about the aircraft whereabouts following the mishap on Sunday. Please call JB Charleston Charleston-based Defense Operations Center at 843-963-60. Sorry, I'll read that past. 843-963-3600. If you do find anything, please do contact them there. Yeah. So, I mean, if you are in the U.S., if you find anything, you know, don't hesitate to call them up. Okay, another interesting news here that happened with the Iran here. U.S. prisoner swap with Iran. 5 Americans detained for years in Iran walked off a plane and into freedom today as part of the deal that saw President Joe Biden agree to unlock nearly $6 billion in frozen Iranian assets. The plane carrying the group from Tehran landed in Doha, Qatar. Iran Foreign Minister spokesman Nasser Kanani said that the exchange would take place Monday after nearly $6 billion in once frozen Iranian assets reached Qatar. Iran frozen assets in South Korea was released. So there were frozen assets in South Korea that Joe Biden, apparently because the old narrative of the U.S. Reality was that we don't negotiate with terrorists. But apparently nowadays, they are negotiating with terrorists and unfreezing $6 billion for the Iranian, we don't know what, right? For the idea that they're gonna, do more terrorism. I'm not saying that they do terrorism on a daily basis, but the idea that they're gonna use those money for a nuclear program, which we know they're doing, is very likely. So check this out. We have him ushering onto the plane here. Here they are, going on to the planes of the Americans. Yes, there are, how many of them are there? There are 5 of us. So about, 5 divided by 6 billion, that's about how much we are worth in cents. And then they're all going to go home and say that the United States of America sucks. That's what they're going to do, right? Because the basketball player that was released from, Russia, in exchange for a weapons dealer that lived in the United States. Well, she was not worth any money. However, she was worth the dignity of the United States, and also she came right home and started talking trash about America. No, shit, no, let's not. But yeah, let's get her back. Yeah, she's a basketball player. Yeah. She got herself in because she brought drugs to fucking Russia, which is a fucking terrible thing to do, Yeah. Okay. We have a little bit of other news here. The U.S. General Mac Miller military. Okay. If China tries to attack and capture the island of Taiwan, it will make a serious strategic mistake. By the way, this is the only option, but there is a very, very high risk of attacking and seizing Taiwan. This is the most complex of the operation. Frankly, at this moment, China military capabilities may not be sufficient to do this. In publicly unclassified speech, President Xi asked the People's Liberation Army, Navy, and the Air Force 2 years to develop the capability by 2027. It used to be in the 2030s, and then he changed it to 2027. It doesn't mean that he decided to do it, but it does mean that he wanted them to have the ability to do it, and it also means that at this time it means at this time he doesn't have the capability to do it. At least that's what he sees. That's what he says or sees to not have the capabilities. However, it's China, right? So it's like trusting it. It's like trusting Russia to tell the truth. It's never gonna happen. More talks from Mac Miller here. The U.S. General Miller told CBS News Sunday morning that the balloon wasn't spying. So this is the Chinese defense. This is Chinese balloon that they said was spying. So the intelligence committee, their assessment is that it is a high confident assessment. Is that there was no intelligence collecting by that balloon after the Navy raised the wreckage from the bottom of the Atlantic. Technically, experts discovered that the balloon sensor had not been activated while over the continental United States. So they say that it was able to, spy, but it wasn't spying, which is, a weird thing. So they said it was able to spy, however, it wasn't spying. I don't know what's going on there. It looks like the snow is going up. You see that? Or something? It's like a dust or something going up. It looks like snow or something. Yeah, weird. Dnipro and Zaporizhzhia, they're on still. Some stuff going on there. Oh, we got Kherson turning on now. Gonna come here. It's going on in the background here soon, probably. I don't know. Okay, so we have reels up on Andrew's JBA. This is Twitter. En route to Germany, where I'll host the first meeting of the Ukrainian Defense Contact Group. I'll meet the coalition partners from literally 50 countries to discuss the ongoing war in Ukraine, security assistance, and to reinforce our support for Ukraine in its fight to defend the sovereignty. This is from your, she's a Secretary of Defense, I believe, is his official title. Yeah, Secretary of Defense, Lloyd J. Austin III. So check this out. This is him going to the plane. He's checked out here. Sir. Is that Air Force One? No. Oh, it's just the United States. Air Force Two, maybe. I don't know. There he is heading out. He's gonna go to Germany, have a good talk. So, Secretary of Defense heading to Germany, or in Germany at this time. Terrifying houseboat fire forces over 24, including 2-month-old infant, to abandon ship for survival. Lake Powell, Utah. Terrifying footage shows a houseboat engulfed in flames, forcing 29 people, including a 2-month-old infant, to leap into the lake for the survival. The incident occurred on Wednesday at Lake Powell near Glen Canyon National Park, specifically in the Warm Creek area. The Glen Canyon National Park Service reported that that other boats in the vicinity assisted in rescuing the individuals from the water. Unfortunately, the houseboat was completely consumed by fire and subsequently sank. Authorities are currently investigating the cause of the fire. Here we have it. So there was a fire on this houseboat right here. And the reason why I don't show it, because it was quite intense. It's just to show off what really can happen in the oceans, you know. This guy's yelling, "Jump!" So yeah, you see that right there is the baby, right? So they're giving out the baby. There's nothing that happens to the baby. Don't worry, guys. There's nothing that happens to any of the people. There's no casualties. I'm gonna point that out. People survived, but it was quite a intense fire. It was about a way at Lake House, so in Utah. Fire goes miles up. Look at that as well. It's burning like hell. I think they're just gonna let it. I think they're just planning on letting it sink. I mean, what options do you have other than letting it sink, right? You know. Okay. A little bit of last one here. Ukraine has significant resources and combat capabilities, and current offensive cannot be considered a failure. It will take a very long time for Ukraine to achieve a complete victory. It's a very high bar to drive all Russian troops out of Ukraine, according to U.S. Chief of Staff Mark Miller. And it is true. And yeah, it's going to take a while. And this is what they understand. It's going to take a while. However, it does not mean that they're not doing it. And there are great news coming out, especially in the Bakhmut area. So we're going to check that out just in a second. Okay, but first we have something that was pretty cool to see here. And nominated for an Oscar from Ukraine, the 20 Days in Mariupol from the Mstislav Chevnov. The film shows the beginning of the full-scale invasion and the bombing of the maternity I can't pronounce that hospital, and the rescue of the author and his colleagues from the Associated Press from the city surrounded by the Russian troops. So check this one out right here. We have and this was from the encirclement of Mariupol, and I also have a video from Mariupol. We're gonna get to see later, Mariupol today. But this video right here is pretty insane.
Someone once told me, wars don't start with explosions.
Nobody dies. They
start with silence.
It's a really intense documentary.
Russians have entered the city. The war has begun, and we have to tell its story.
Хорошо, что тут есть пресса. Снимайте.
This is painful to watch, but it must be painful to watch.
Вони нанесли бомбовий удар.
Again, nobody died. There are people that are hurt. Well, people died, but you're not in the video. I'll point that out. Lacquer's feet. These were from the cellars that they hid underneath the. You guys remember that big city? You know, an iron city that they call this big iron factory, and there was cellars underneath for these kids, and especially in the buildings and high-rise buildings. And all these apartments right here, which is completely destroyed. Underneath the cellar of that metal factory, we also had children and men and, well, women as well hiding underneath there. I mean, every man and that was in there, plus a woman as well. Some were giving guns or fighting back as well. They did everything they could, you know. As a Nepal, fairly, however, they held for a very long time.
If the world saw everything that happened in Mariupol, it would give at least some meaning to this horror.
Yeah.
My brain will desperately want to forget all this. But the camera will not let it happen.
So, 20 Days in Mariupol, a real page-turner and an extremely great documentary. If you ever get your hands on it, I'm not sure. It's probably going to be on Netflix one day, I'd imagine, because it's one of these things that they're really, it's actually a really great doc. I haven't seen it, but I've heard really great reviews from it. So, if you got the nerve and it ever comes out on the popular stream platform, I will let you know, and I'll probably gonna watch it myself. I can't show it on stream, obviously, but yeah. So we're gonna move on. However, I just want to point out to the victims of Mariupol that it is a serious situation, and it was a serious situation, and yeah. But we all know that. Our warriors are heroes to front line. I'm proud of each, every one of you, and I'm grateful to each of the brigades for the strength. So this is from Zelensky, I believe. So right, yeah, Zelensky. So he has a video here, another video that's 49 seconds. This is released from Zelensky today. Let's check this out as well. There he is, man with the biggest balls, right? Frontline commanders, thinks he's on the front lines there.
Завдяки вам точно залишиться Україна. І це дуже важливо на всі майбутні покоління.
Служу українському народу.
Якщо можна, нам 3 пора про.
Так, давай.
Yes, so there you go. Pretty cool video there. This one is titled Ukraine Heroes. We're going to get through that. And it's an official statement here from Zelensky. Our people have once again demonstrated that Ukraine's invincibility is all about. After the Invictus Games, our heroes won a record number of awards for the Ukrainian national team in history of such competitions. 34 medals, 12 gold, 14 silvers, and 8 bronze. An incredible result. NASA, Vushnik, Vladimir, Tavkus, Makalov, Saritsky, Yulia Shevchuk, something like that, and Maxim Savabov became multiple medalists. Each such victory inspires and gives strength. Our invisibilities are example of fortitude. God damn it. I'm not English. We're thankful and proudful of you, and so are we. Good luck to them all, and great stuff. show. Here you go. Have it again. Sekharov BTC, one of the commanders of the Georgian Legion, has been killed in a battle against the Russian army near Neskushny. Rest in peace, hero. Here you have him, the picture of him. He's sort of Georgian Legion. Georgian Legion is also on Twitter, as you can go find them on Twitter. They also put their daily updates up about their advancements, or at least their advancements along with Ukraine, and they are fighting along Ukraine. So, a 12-year-old Vlasnit Meduk is among many Ukrainian children killed by the Russian military scale since the full-scale invasion. Our last documented bullet holes is the investigation into Russia's systematic murder of Ukrainian children. So here you have it again, one of the things that Russia does. He's a child here, a true patriot. Kept the hope up. So here you have it. You have a little thing of a documentary here from him. Gonna watch this and you're gonna like it.
Владик.
What's being killed. Yeah. Little Fortnite dance there. Great stuff.
Він сказав, от в 16, десь я вже з'їду від батьків і буду собі нормально жити на свої гроші, на свою зарплату, буду собі заробляти.
Любив саме більше ігри, комп'ютерні, з чого я весь час, я забороняла, я по часу це встановлювала, то в нас трошки були по поводу цього, він, мама, я там буду вигравати, подивись, як я класно граю, і весь час умів викрутитися, знаєте, я там починаю своє говорити, а він своє.
Тік-токи, я його заставляла знімати. Владик, давай, ну, одягни ці очки, нам надо це, нам надо це.
Was killed on March 9, 2022, when him and his family tried to get to safety, and their village has been occupied by Russian soldiers. Yeah. For the Kyiv Independent, thank you very much. Kyiv Independent, great source and great, yeah, from Twitter. Yeah, and again, you know, this is just one of the things that the Russians are getting away with. And to point out, the reason why I'm showing you this is because there are readers around the world that act as if this is not a situation. I'm not, you know, sitting here going, oh, yeah, you know, what I'm saying is giving up on Ukraine is allowing the idea of genocide to be a thing that not only the US, but the EU allows to happen. And then after having committed multiple genocide, and not only killing children, shelling residential buildings, and pretty much going against all you know, codes of the Geneva Convention, you're then allowing them to continue it and hold the territories that they have, you know, whether they have done these taxes, holy shit, there you go. That was in Kramatorsk, I think, or Kharkiv. Probably Kramatorsk, right? God damn. So yeah, allowing them to do what it is that is illegal. So, you know, what good is the EU? What good is the UN? What good is the United States of America? Again, Kramatorsk missile attack here happening apparently. Kramatorsk is in Donetsk, by the way. There's not an all clear, so I don't really get. I mean, it could be from Dnipro, and we're hearing it from a camera in Kramatorsk. That could also be the reality. It could be here. So yeah, just my point here that, you know, we're giving up on a country that it's not only fighting for your freedom, but it's fighting for all of our freedoms. You know, because, you know, if you allow Russia to take over Ukraine, not only are you gonna allow them to put their ideals of this authoritarian regimes and dictatorships to be allowed in our society, but you're giving up on the idea of freedom, you know. And yeah, and every time I say freedom, you know, we don't have freedom anymore. You do, okay? You do have freedom, much more than what Russia has, okay? So don't give up on me just yet, you know. Okay, so let's get on to Ukraine advancement, weapons, government news, and more. There's some great news coming out, which I was happy to see. As a result of successful actions of the armed forces of Ukraine, the enemy defense line near Bakhmut was broken. Commander of the ground forces of the armed forces of Ukraine, Olensk-Serinsky, one of the most trained and best units of the army, the 77th Separate Motorized Rifle Brigade, the 37th, 30th, 31st, the 83, I can't even say that in English, sorry. Separate Air Assault Brigade were defeated and completely lost their combat capabilities. These are from the Russian side. The so-called best of the, units of the enemy. So, the best units of the enemy were just defeated, he said. And this was near the areas of Bakhmut. And the front lines near was broken and taken over. We have a video or something here. Check it out. Check it out. This is from Flash. Great source as well. So another video here. Can't really show the music because I don't know about copyright reasons. There you have it. They're getting ready for battle. Then we got the classic military guy walking up here. It shows videos of the destruction there. Don't worry. You can watch it without being too afraid. YouTube, there's nobody who dies in this. I mean, in reality, there is, but, you're not seeing it. Oh, shit. Yeah, there's definitely explosion going off here in Kramatorsk or Kharkiv. Funny thing is that there's explosion happening in Donetsk region, but they're not turning on the Donetsk air defense systems. Well, they are turning it on, right? But they're not. There's no air raid going on, which is weird. So Kharkiv region and Poltava region are turned on, but there's explosions in Donetsk. So, yeah. Air raid's going off here background. Oh, sorry. Here you have it. They're being given medals and for their great achievement. Can I show the music? I can't. I don't know. Because I don't know if it's fucking copyrighted. I mean, they're doing great. They're doing a great job there as well, and they've managed broken through lines. So before it wasn't, the enemy spent so much time on a man force of about 52,000 men to break through to take Bakhmut, but actually managed to not take Bakhmut. Actually managed to they managed to take Bakhmut, and then they are now losing Bakhmut after have spent 52,000 soldiers on it. A good half part of Ukraine here is turning on red here. Some kind of missile attack is undergoing. Caliber or drone attack. Keep an eye on it here. Here, air sirens going on in the background here. Yeah. The armed forces are going to powerfully break through the Russian defense line. I know where they're going to do it, Zelensky says. Hey, this is a funny video here of Zelensky. So check it. So they had the armed forces are going to powerfully break through the Russian defense line. I know where they're going to do it, Zelensky. And then he goes, yeah. I just love that way he looks at the ground, like, yeah. Like, kind of half smirks, like, yeah. Sometimes you forget he was a comedian. Yeah, that's funny. Don't know why, I guess, yeah, you get it. Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. Come on. We got air sirens that's going off here in the back of Ukraine here. Something's definitely happening. Let's check it out. I'm going to check on the Olga real quick just to ensure that there isn't any Tu-95 threat here. Let's check out. Going to have to watch here. 4 hours ago, 177 MD to Olinia. That's not... no. Oh, yeah. Another explosion just happened in the background there. It's either a UAV attack or something. Is that a plane there or some rumbling in the background there? We'll get on with the news. We're just gonna make sure nothing happens here. Or something's already happened. So. Yeah, there you go. Kramatorsk, that's in Donetsk. It's here. Here, car alarm's turning on as well. People are shouting. Donetsk Oblast here, and Donetsk City. It's Ukraine, that's the Russian controlled. Yeah. Yeah, there's one more rumble in the background there. Okay. Well, explosions heard in central Donetsk near the headquarters of the city administration. Reports of Ukrainian and missile drills. So this is the Russian-controlled area. Check this out. This is a video we got. This is the headquarters, their administration, the Scapo, sorry. The Scapo, well, how do you say it? Whatever. The Scapo, or how do you, I don't know. Here you go. This is from the headquarters. This is the Russian-controlled area that they announced shelled today, and Ukraine managed to get an attack on it. Again, just proving that the Russian defense, air defense systems are close to very minimal at this point in the war. Yeah. Vladimir Zelensky says that he knows when Ukraine is going to break through the Russian defense line. We want to break the Russian line defense so much it is not an easy way. I am confident that it will happen. I can't say where faster. I can't talk about it because I know where we're going to break the line and break it hard, says the president of Ukraine there, Vladimir Zelensky, on a CBS News. He was on the oh shit, I'm turning this down real quick. He was on 60 Minutes, by the way, if you guys want to go check out the latest update of 60 Minutes. He was on it just here, I think it was yesterday or today. They uploaded something with it. So go check that out if you have time, you have an hour to go watch Zelensky. It's a great video. And he talked about all these things about, you know, the advancements of Ukraine, and also the idea that he can't say it, but, you know, we know it. And they're either, it's going to be in Donetsk or in Zaporizhia. It's the two lines. However, there's also talks about amphibious assaults. I'm not going to say any more than that, because if I'm right, and I'm just going to call something out there, I don't know if I'm right, but I don't want to be right and then having called something out. However, I will say that there may or may not be an amphibious assault coming, in the sense of an attack somewhere in Russian-controlled areas, and it is pretty devious. Maybe Crimea. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. Just saying. Yeah. Just seeing videos and all kinds of things, the pretext for it, you know, destroying of air defense systems, destroyings of, and they retook oil depots in the Black Sea, so, well, not oil drilling platforms, so just, yeah, pointing it out here, guys, pointing it out. Don't say anything, because I don't know. I can't, I don't know, but, you know, pointing it out. An explosion in the building of the occupied so-called authorities in the center of the occupied, so I think this is the minor damage. I also reported that it was minor damage, by the way. Just want to point that out. The same video I've got here. Yeah, same video. Alright, just want to point that out. It was minor damage. Ukraine's spotter drone captures a precision strike on a Russian BM-30. So check this one out here. We've got videos and videos. I've tried to get the most of them that we can. Oh shit, Jesus Christ, you have to blast music every time. There isn't supposed to be any, well, there's the idea that somebody dies, but it isn't. I would have viewer restrictions here. I just want to point that out, however. See the targeting of the air defense systems here. I'd like to say nobody died, but, you know, so it's probably false. Very, very false. And in fact, I would like to say somebody probably did. But, a bit laggy. I don't know if that's the video or this thing. Oh, it's the video. No, it's the video. They're targeting. I think it's over there in the end there. I don't know if they got the targeting, and you see that's the BM-30 down there. I think there's something else over there. I don't know, but the BM-30 down there that the Ukrainian took out. They're really getting very precisionized about it. You know, they're getting really good at it as well, which it's pretty incredible. Okay, so Uncle HIMARS destroy 2 Nova self-propelled artillery systems with the crew. I think this is the video I wanted to show really badly. It's some, it's a pretty cool video here. Let me just see if that's the video. Is it? No, it's not. However, it's still a cool video, so let's watch it. Yeah, you can show these videos, as long as you don't close up on things. So check that out there. These are systems just being absolutely hammered by the Ukrainians. They're targeting it down. That's how they look like. And check that out there. It actually looks like the things they got from Georgia. I just want to point that out. Not the state, the country. They stole them. The Russians stole them. Big ass explosion right there. Check that out. Boom. I mean, they're giving them the business. That's what they're doing. There you got one driving away there. You talk it out. You got the close up there. Yeah, it's the Storm Shadow missiles, I believe, or yeah, it's the HIMARS systems. They're giving them the biz. It's only being a Russian soldier nowadays means that you're very unsure when death comes. It's not even a joke, So again, we have a little bit more in Bakhmut here, and I have a very interesting picture after that you're going to get to see. The armed forces broke through the Russian defense line in the direction of Bakhmut. Commander of the ground forces only says some of the most prepared Russian units, the 72-31 Brigade, were competed and lost their combat to fight. Is reported from Mask23 on Twitter. 17 out of 17 KH-101, KH-555, KH-55 missiles, and 18 out of 24 shit launched by the Russians were shot down by Ukrainian air defense last night. So 17 out of 17 caliber missiles were shot down. These comes from the ships. Were shot down by Ukraine. Again, even more proof that Ukraine is using the Patriot systems and their air defense systems, profusely great. I think we even have videos of some of it. I have. So that's pretty cool. That's just one thing I want to note out. However, it also means that Russia are launching multiple large-scale attacks, and just in these last, you got to see that they're launching an attack down here. Okay, I have a little bit more here. This is an ex-submarine, now a photo of Russian Navy submarine hit by Ukrainian cruise missiles in Sevastopol. Show damage is even worse than previously noted. Photos appeared credible. Pressure holes has massive breach. Check this out, guys. This is the I don't remember the class name, but it's some kind of class. I think it's cost up towards nearly $1 billion in dollar marks, or maybe like 300, something like that. Check that out. So they're showing, this is one side as well, and this is the other side. So I don't know if you can see anything in particularly wrong with this image right here that I've shown you, that these two holes right here. This is from down here, and this is on the other side there. So take a look at that, and just, do you see anything in the picture right now that could indicate that this thing may not float anymore? Yeah, there's two giant fucking holes in it. Well, fucking done. This is deep inside Crimean-held territory in the Black Sea, Sevastopol, Russian port that they've actually managed. And we had to find a picture. We had the pictures of the Minsk, the ship that was damaged. We saw a video of that. Here you have a picture of the submarine that we didn't know was damaged or not. Now we officially know, and it is really damaged. So it's lucky it didn't fucking blow up. I mean, but that's yeah, pretty cool there. Ukraine armed forces broke through the enemy defense line near Bakhmut. Oh, we have this one. Yeah, okay. The liberation of Klimishchinka and Andriivka allowed the defense forces to break through the enemy line defenses line stretching from Bakhmut to Horlivka, the commander of the Ukrainian army. We will get to see that on, I think, Deep State. They're definitely going to show that. Current view of Sevastopol steel in Mariupol, Donetsk Oblast, the place of the last stand of Mariupol defenders last spring. So again, here we have a video, and this was the video I wanted to show you. We had the documentary earlier there, or the clip of the documentary there, and this is new images of that steel plant there, and you can see the total destruction of that steel plant. This is in Mariupol. However, the Russians are apparently right now launching a campaign to have people move to Mariupol, which is, I don't know why. It's stupid. So check this out. They've got, and these are, of course, I don't know if these are Russian or Ukrainian equipment, but that's what's left of the steel plant there. You see mass destruction of the area. Well, in general area, so yeah, that's the video I want to show you. And this was, of course, the last stronghold that the Ukrainians had during the siege of Mariupol, which was a scary time in the Ukrainian war, where we all fought. This is it. We're seeing a big part of the Ukrainian army, but however, many of them got out of there, and other things is that we managed to how to put it, sort of regain control. They managed to regain control is what I'm going to put. But a mood boost from the NGU Aviation. Oh, is that the? Oh, this is a funny video here. So there's a pretty good trend on TikTok where there's this woman that is checking out a BMW. Sorry, I think it's either a Bentley or a Rolls Royce. I think it's a Bentley. But these guys here are making fun of that, and they're in a helicopter. Check this out. Mi-8. Yeah, Bentley.
Mi-8.
Mi-8. Yeah. There's your Granny and Jabba right there. This is the ASMR of that video there.
Bentley.
Bentley.
Mi-8.
Mi-8. Yelled, no. Like the start of that thing right there as well. It's gonna feel the steering wheel, yeah. That's something I want to give you there. Just keeping the spirit high is what they're doing. Okay. Antarvik and village in the Donetsk region bore the brunt of the hostiles for over a year. Russian forces left behind a trail of destruction with not a single intact building on which the Ukrainian flag could be raised. But thanks to the remarkable courage and skills of Ukrainian soldiers, Antarvik now stands liberated, the third assault group. And again, here we have another picture. We saw pictures yesterday, but here is a picture of a man standing here. This is in Andrikov, something. I don't really know. It's in the area around Bakhmut, or in Donetsk area. Taken back from the Russians. It is a wasteland, however, it is Ukrainian land. Holy Ukrainian land, right? So, other news here. Ukraine is preparing to sue Poland, Slovakia, and Hungary for the decision to continue domestic ban on sale of Ukrainian grain. The EU-wide ban that prohibited the sale of Ukrainian grain within the bloc has expired. Poland has expired, and Poland, Slovakia, and Hungary says this will undercut prices and hurt farmers and allow transit by continuing their bans. Kyiv is now preparing to sue them. So again, this is what I said before, that what these guys are worried about is the undermining of their farmers, and not only what they mean is that the farmers are nowadays making more because there is less coming out of Ukraine. Ukraine was a big competitor when it came to the grain market. However, I think stopping a whole country of grain imports to impoverished lands is a idea that isn't very clever. However, I do see the point of view that they have to keep out for their farmers, but this is also stupid because they realized they were making a lot of money out of the sales that they were making, and now they don't want that sales to come back. So yeah, it's weird, and it's something they're gonna have to resolve. But yeah. Security Service of Ukraine detains Russian agent who posed as a military man to spy on Ukraine armed forces. We have the video of it, and I've got the video. I've got, you know, pictures, exclusive content here, guys. And to mention, if you are wanting to see some of the videos that I cannot show on the stream, go to my Twitter, that is in the description. You can get to see some of the videos I cannot show on the stream. I have reposted some of them, and I will be reposting constantly. So, or at least as much as I can. Otherwise, this is what you get. Okay. So check this out here. There's no sign on, but they jump out, and this is the guy. He was posting as a Ukrainian military official. How are we gonna put it, right? And he got detained. We got other things here about that as well. So we have pictures of it here, and there is as well as ammunition that he had on him, and this is the picture that they took after having arrested him. I think you can see that, but yeah. The SSU detained an FSB agent in Dnipro who posed as a military man in order to spy on armed forces without hindrance in the zone of special attention. In the Russian agent were the routes of movement of railroad in Cluj. God, I can't let you guys see that. I can't read. That's not even a word. I don't even know what the fuck that is. with the latest military equipment, weapons, and ammunition of the defense forces, he also tried to identify the combat position of Ukrainian air defense forces in the region of the regional center. The perpetrator faces life imprisonment. Well done, Soys. Well done. And this is from Flash that was reported there, the other one there. So, thank you very much, Flash. Vladimir Zelensky will meet the Brazilian president Luis Insanio. I don't really know. Luis da Silva in... Oh, this is his whole name. Lula da Silva in New York on September 20th. That is one day before he's going to meet the United States President, Joe Biden. This is according to Guardian. Lula has infuriated some Western leaders who support Ukraine's fight against Russia with his refusal to take a clear stance on the war, the publication writes. So he's now meeting with, this is the guy, by the way. You don't know. He's meeting with Zelensky to hopefully maybe get some of that figured out. So, yeah, could be very positive development there. We have a video here, and this is the video I think I saw. The elephant's going up. I hope so. No, this is the video of, I think there's German leopards here. Yeah, can't really get that music there. These are German leopards. Fast as fuck. That's the reason why they call them leopards. Check how fast that thing is. It's insane. I mean, it's a bloody tank, you know, and it's catching up with that car right there. It's just insanely fast for a tank, you know. It doesn't match. It matches far beyond what a Russian tank is able to do. The turret is fast as well, by the way. It's kind of like getting chased by the police, right? Pull over. We won't hesitate to use lethal force. Imagine that was the police. I feel like people would pull over if the police came up in a vehicle like that. Anyways, that's a cool video coming out from Ukraine there. Also, it comes as that aid package that came in. Germany announced a new military aid package worth 400 million, which I was talking about later, and that's part of some of that. President Zelensky appeared on the famous 60 Minutes show Sunday night and issued the warning to the enemy: if UA infrastructure is attacked this fall winter, leaving citizens in the dark and cold, UA force would immediately respond in kind. Is his stunning words there, which makes perfect sense. So this is the estimates of the losses of the Russian personnel or equipment. We have additional 620 troops, soldiers, 6 APVs, 33 vehicles and fuel tanks, 3 tanks, 24 artillery systems, 27 UAVs, drones. This correlates with what we read earlier as well. 5 special equipment, 2 anti-aircraft warfare systems, 7 cruise missiles, and nothing when it comes to boats or aircraft or helicopters, because the Russians are actually railing back any choppers and aircraft in the area. That's also why Ukraine is pretty much allowed to reign over, Russia without any, repercussions. I got a cool picture of you. This is from Ukraine as well. Ukrainian pilot flying in the nights there. You can really see the control panels sliding up there. It's a really cool picture. I wanted to show you that, the sunset there. It must be a cool job. If I had another life, I'd definitely do that. I'll definitely do this. If it was in another life there, I'd definitely be doing this. Yeah, so, okay. Let's get on with some more. DPR was hit in Donetsk. This is, yeah. This is different. We also have, I think it was a different video I've got of that Donetsk headquarters in the controlled area around, is a different video? Oh, War Gonzo says the office of the so-called head administration, so-called DPR, was hit from MLS in Donetsk. Wonder if the attackers believe the punchline was there. So, again here, another video. They did say minor damage to the building. However, I mean, yeah, structurally not a lot of damage. However, I think visually some damage was done to the building. Some damage was in fact done to the building. Take over to the right there, you can see the debris there falling down. I think there's a light pole or something that fell down with it. All along the street there as well. Yeah, there you go. Is that a Russian flag flying there? Yeah, oh, that's a Russian Donetsk flag. Yeah, so. Don't know if there was any casualties. Doesn't appear so. The armed forces of Ukraine can still cut the land convention. This is from the Ukrainian intelligence chief, by the way. Connection between the Russian Federation and Crimea before winter Badanov, the Ukrainian intelligence chief. This is evidenced by breakthroughs in the first line of defense of the Russian Federation in Zaporizhia region. While Ukraine appears to have already deployed some reserve troops, Russia has also committed reserves that it did not plan to deploy until the end of October, and they are not strong enough. They say so. They're not strong enough. This also comes as Russia has promised a 400 to 700,000 man strong conscription as well, or they're saying it's not a general mobilization, but you're getting there, So yeah, this is Bandov, and he's saying this is the idea that they're going to be able to cut off, and the idea is that they're going to be able to push through the lines of Zaporizhia and cut off the Russians to not only cut off the communication, but supplies coming in from the mainland. So that's their plans right now, and it is slow but steady. That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, let's get on to some other juicy news, some of the news you may be wanting to hear. A Russian drone has been found in Chuyelino, Bulgaria. The drone has an undetonated explosive charge. An unidentified drone carrying an 82mm mortar mine crashed on the coast of Bulgaria. Bulgarian national radio reports that the drone crashed on rocks near the village of Tiyulin, 70 kilometers from the border with Romania and across the sea from Crimea. This is quite a weird coincidence here as well, because this drone just flew off course, just, extreme amount. There's pictures of it here. And this, you see the water right there. Lucky it didn't just land in the ocean. Well, yeah, actually. It didn't go off, apparently. Apparently it just crashed. So this is from Slava Ukraina and Visegrad. Both of them made these 2 tweets here. So thank you very much to those guys. I think that's... Is it a wing or something? Oh, that's the whole thing right there. You can see it from the top. So yeah, this is found in Bulgaria, by the way. And you know, to point out, the Bulgaria, by the way, again, you know, it's a drone with a bomb crashed on Bulgaria coast. The National Guard reported to crash into the near village. Yeah, so to point out that this is in fact a NATO country, Bulgaria is a NATO country, but to fuck up that much, it's just starting to get weird, right? Because, you know, because Bulgaria, again, you know, it's down here. This is Bulgaria. I mean, it's 7 kilometers from the border of Romania. Give it a second. It's gonna get there. Just give it a second. Just give it a second. So it's you know, it's 70 kilometers from the border of Romania, and this is Ukraine, right? So this drone apparently either was trying to attack a Ukrainian port, flew so far across Romania that it landed in Bulgaria, or somebody is trying to shot it off from Crimea and it landed in Bulgaria. How the fuck did it end up there? Because I don't get it. Because it's one thing to have it end up here. It's one thing to have it end up you know, just across from Romania when you're targeting Ukrainian ports, but it's another to have a drone end up in fucking Bulgaria. Because a drone end up in Bulgaria, either you fucked up, you know, that bad, which is hard to believe. Well, it's not hard to believe. We are talking about the Russians here, right? But just to point out that their target was Ukraine, and they managed to hit Bulgaria 70 kilometers from the Romanian border. How the fuck do you fuck up that bad? You know, how do you fuck up that bad? That can't be true. Whatever they did, I'm not saying this seems intentional, but let's just be honest here. This is weird. Because, I mean, yeah, it seems weird to me because they literally, you know, this is Bulgaria. It's a NATO country, but it's not even anywhere near where they want it to hit. How the fuck did they do that? I mean, we don't even know if this is a Russian or Ukrainian drone. There's probably going to be more on it. But yeah. We're going to get to more on that a bit later. Ukraine development robotic track stretches for evacuation that wounded. They can also deliver ammunition, food, and other things to zero disadvantage. Makes it possible to reduce the evacuation group from 7 people to maximum 3. The remote control works at a distance from 100 meters, which will make it possible to maintain a distance between the members of the evacuation group and significantly increase the survival of the case of artillery bomb fire from the drone. So here you go. I think I got a video of it. Oh yeah, so I had this video here. Pretty cool. This is from Ukraine. There's a new I don't know, evacuation kind of thing they got going. I think it's a stretcher of some sort, or sitting or whatever. I believe it's a stretcher that you fold out and you can actually put a wounded person on the... So check that out. So it actually drives on its own, which is insane. We're going to test drive it here in a second. So this is pretty inventive right here. So they actually figured out that this would be quite a clever idea, which it is, you know. So you can actually... drive people back and forward, so check that out right there. It's a bit bumpy, of course, but that was because you was driving right there. But it's yeah, it's really cool, you know. Just part of the Ukraine. It's just so inventive, and it's a great way to transport people out of the area, especially if you have, you know, drone. If you have people that are above from drone and they're keeping an eye on it, tell them where to move. You can evacuate people out of the zone without any other soldier help. It's a future, gentlemen. Future here. Throughout the day, Russian channels throughout the day confirmed that the armed forces of Ukraine has counterattacked near Novoselsky Kusemka in Savatov axis and regains several strategic positions previously occupied by Russian forces. We have a picture of it here. This is along the line, but I think it's in the Donetsk area where they have counterattacks. Sorry. There you go. So, Zelensky to speak to senator during upcoming visit to USA next week. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky plans to speak to U.S. senators during his visit to the Capitol Hill in Washington on September 21st. CNN reported on September 17th. Another Leopard 1A5 tank in Ukraine, but this one is with camouflage netting. So check this out. This is one thing I saw here. I thought I'd share this. It is really camouflage. It's really cool looking as well. It's like death. This is death staring you in the eye right here, gentlemen. I mean, this is cool pictures coming out from Ukraine. Yeah, you're not gonna see this hit you, but it's fast, it's durable, and it's camouflage. This is death. This right here is death. So pretty cool. We'll try to show you that. Okay, moving on to some other news here. Elon Musk news. We had Elon Musk in Turkey, I believe, or somewhere. Elon Musk with his son A12 at the meeting with Erdogan. Musk rarely shows his family to the public, but he decided to take his son to meet the Turkish president. The meeting took place in New York. It was in New York. Okay. The Turkish side is trying to reach a deal with Musk to build a Tesla factory in the country. So pretty thought I'd show you this. So Musk is meeting with the Turkish president here, Erdogan. He doesn't want.
You'll get friendly.
Please. Where is your wife?
She's in San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Just an awkward meeting.
We're separated. I take care of him mostly.
Şu an ayrı yaşıyorum. Sonuçta oğluma ben bakıyorum.
Confident building. He's a bit skeevious, but all right. So he's meeting with the president of Turkey there. I think we got all clear turning on right now. I'm not really sure though, but I think it's all clear. There's reports coming out from India here, so let me just want to give you this right here. Okay, China and Russia news. Reports claim China has stopped supplying drones to Russia from September 1st. It's being prohibited to import drones from China weighing more than 4 kilos of maximum takeoff of weight of 70 kilos with a flight duration of more than 30 minutes into Russia, also subject to ban where UAV capable of carrying a load with a release function or with the ability to attach such a device. In addition, China has limited the supply numbers of important components for drones. So these are, coming out here that we just saw. I saw this. I don't know at this point. China has stopped supplying drones to Russia Federation, prohibited the. That's also another one. It is noted that the major Russian drone manufacturers have managed to build up substantial stocks and hope that their suppliers in China will be able to obtain license to export to Russia, but the process may take up to a year. In order to obtain a license, it is necessary to prove that the drones will not be used to military purposes, which is pretty much impossible for them to do. So, yeah, China is backtracking, it appears. Okay, we have India news. I want to show you this as well. From Glass Report, India has ordered an additional 12 Russian Su-30 fighter jets, 12 Sukhoi S-30 MKI fighter jets will be produced domestically with a price of tag of 1.3 billion. Hindustan Aeronautic Limited, holy shit, HAL, will begin practical production at its facilities in India. Currently, the company manufactures about 60% of the elements of the Su-30 MKI. The IAF had inducted 272 of these jets since 1998. Around 10 Su-30s have crashed since 2010. Of course they have. Okay, so more news about Russia falling apart here. Scorched earth tactics all over again. So if you don't know, in the Napoleonic era in World War II as well, the Russians were famous for doing a tactic called scorched earth. It was very present during the Napoleonic era and his invasion of Russia, where they actually reached Moscow. However, the Russians actually burned down Moscow. And they also... well, they also kind of gave the go-ahead for burning down grounds, you know, that was meant for farming and all that kinds of stuff. So fruit, trees, everything that you could live off the ground with. I think they killed the cows as well. So they really just killed anything that the French could live off, or the coalition force, coalition force. And it's also happening here again. We got this video of it here. So they're saying, you know, if we can't have it, you can have it. And the Russians are now again relying on this tactics again, that they're setting fire to everything. If we can't have it, destroy it. So they're setting fire. So the official report reads: Scorcher attack. Russian forces attack Klishnikov with heavy flamethrower system TOS A1. So check this out here. I don't know if that was, I think it's Russian sides. But yeah, they're burning it all down, and this is very highly flammable materials. You know, that they're putting on the ground, or at least trying to get away with. So yeah, that's what they're doing. They're burning it all down. That's their tactic for now. They want to burn it to the ground. Well, that's exactly what they've done with pretty much everything else. Yeah. So that's what's happening there. It is around in the upper Donetsk area. Okay. No reports here. New Russian military PR video from recruitment. Will return to Kyiv. I'll move my family there, and I'm rushing to Odessa. I love to see. So again, a sort of PR propaganda recruitment video here of a Russian soldier who doesn't appear to be on the Russian front. I'm not really sure what's happening here. But here you have it. These are, I don't know if these are even at the front or if they're not.
Ты случайно не знаешь, где Печерские пагорбы в Киеве?
Это центр. У меня там тетка живет. Крутой район. А чего?
Мечта у меня. Квартиру там хочу
купить. Sound effects, right?
Война закончится, Киев вернем, семью туда перевезу.
So this is their Russian propaganda video that they've made.
А я в Одессу рвану.
This is where he says, I'm gonna move my family, I'm gonna take Kyiv, or something like that. It's just the same clips of kind of like the same kind of thing. They went, oh, you didn't even fucking see that video. My bad, guys. Oh, I didn't show you the video. My bad, my bad. We'll just watch it again here because I didn't show you the video. But this is a Russian PR propaganda video. I explained it, so you see.
Это центр. У меня там тетка живет. Крутой район. А чего?
Sometimes I forget I gotta click.
Мечта у меня. Квартиру там хочу купить. Война закончится, Киев вернем, семью туда перевезу.
Sign up today, and even a phone number as well.
А я в Одессу рвану. Море люблю.
Probably saying, I'm happy to serve my motherland or something like that. Okay, the Russian Duma Council unanimously decided that deputies should only use cars made in Russia. These are such cars. So these are what you would see during the Cold War or the Soviet Union. These cars that the Russian produce, shit cars. So these are cars that they're going to be driving around in. So, yeah. Again, some kind of Russian propaganda. I don't know. The stage of restoration of the Russian economy has been completed. We are withstood absolutely unpredictable. Well, apparently it doesn't have sound. Well, it doesn't matter then. Okay. A Russian national team and clubs will return to European football only after the end of the war in Ukraine. UEFA President Alexander Kafrin stated that this is Serbian TV channel's sport club. The driver forgot to lower. Okay, we got another one. The driver forgot to lower. This is a truck that apparently had some kind of misspill here. The driver forgot to lower the body of the dump truck. Driver demolished part of bridge of Vladivostok. Russia traffic on the federal highway is blocked at the exit from Vladivostok. So check this out. This is happening in Russia as we're speaking here. Probably got it out of the way now, but I wanted to report it. It was the Savo Ukraine. I can't remember when it was from. The 17th of, so it's 8:10 a.m. Right on the back here, and you can see, so the historic part of bridge, and this is the truck. It fell over, which I don't know what it had in the back there, but it certainly had something. Completely destroyed. Check that out right there. These Russian drivers for you right there. On the Vladivostok, and the road is blocked. This you report in the report. It's the overhead. This is the thing from the overhead. Oh, so the thing from the overhead. Alright, I see. That's stupid. Fucking ridiculous. You only get this in Russia, guys. You only get this in Russia. So they're probably not even gotten that out of the way yet. You have to some heavy equipment to get that out of the way. Russian airline Red Wings passenger jet flying from Turkey to Russia made an emergency landing in Kazakhstan due to technical failure, probably hydraulics, just with a previous intense instance which are beginning to occur on nearly daily basis with Russian passenger planes. Again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's because the people that used to take care of these problems are no longer there. So, that's not much else to point out there. Lieutenant Colonel Roman Venvitsy, former commander of Russian 77 Separate Motor Brigade that got wrecked near Kalensky and Madrid, calls the brigade losses very serious, while calling it betrayal to send soldiers to the front untrained and unprovided. You know, no shit, dumbass. You know, fucking realize his own mistakes right there. We got the whole transcript. I'm not gonna read that whole thing. A lot. Okay. So there are no losses. This is what they're okay, so I want to read this out because they're pretty funny. There are no losses, but there are 230,000 certified for the families of the victims. The Minister of Labor and Social Development of the Russian Federation has ordered more than 750,000 certificates for the combat veterans and 230,000 certificate for families members of those killed. Ross SMI reports, citing data from the government procurement portal. The department already concluded a similar contract in May, including that this beginning of the invasion of Ukraine, more than 900,000 I can't read that. Have been ordered from veterans and about 260,000 for the families of the victims, dead people, graves, right? By the way, as of the morning of December 18, the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine reported that the liquidation of 272,940 Russians have died in the war so far. 272,000 have died. 272,000. So a lot of soldiers. How is Moscow encouraging Russia to move to Mariupol and other occupied area of Ukraine? Have they done this before? And why is there particularly considered ethnic cleansing? Yeah, this is one thing I want to show you. They're putting on this campaign right now of, like, you know, reiterating Mariupol as a sort of great city, right? So they're made a video here. Okay, we got Kyiv Independent here. Gonna watch this.
Mariupol, once a prosperous city of more than 400,000 people, has now turned into a wasteland of rubble. As of May 2023, about 120,000 residents remain in the city, according to the Institute for the Study of War. The Mariupol City Council believes that Russia's relentless attacks last year killed at least 20,000 people. However, it is currently impossible to establish the exact number of civilian deaths in Mariupol. Hundreds of thousands fled the city
they got air raids turning on Kharkiv
to escape the bombing, while others were forcibly deported to Russia. After committing these war crimes, Moscow reportedly came up with an ambitious plan to increase the population of the city by approximately 300,000 people by 2035. But how exactly? According to Ukraine's National Resistance Center, a part of Ukraine's special forces, the plan involves relocating people from Russia to occupied Mariupol. As part of the plan, Moscow has begun a program offering cheap mortgages with an interest rate of 2% to encourage Russians to move there.
Is it possible for a service member to get a mortgage to buy a house in the city of Mariupol?
According to the National Resistance Center, those relocating to the occupied areas not only include Russian installed officials and law enforcement officers, but also construction workers from Russia, Belarus, and other countries.
Belarus. Probably also Kazakhstan, I would imagine. Okay. Russia says it has no official, this is about the Chechnya leader as well. It has no official statement on the Ramsey cut it off after the report suggested the Chechnyan leader was sick. We saw the video yesterday of him walking around. We are still confused, but nobody's really talking about him, so it's a confused situation in any way. Okay, Egypt is cool. That's what I've made here. So Siva OC Egypt, the 95% salt concentration increased the density of the water and buoyancy, making it so it can't sink. So check this out there. I've got a pretty good video for you here. It's pretty cool. This guy jumps in this here, so you can't sink in this water right here. This is the water I want to swim in. So check this out. This is in Egypt. It looks pretty daunting looking down into it, but it looks pretty cool. But you can't sink. So you're just bouncing on top there. Look at that. I like to try that. I have no idea what's down there. I don't like water. I don't like water. I like the feeling of not being able to see down. Looks pretty clean, however, I just don't like the... Yeah, you get it. Turkey news, by the way. 9 high-rise buildings were demolished simultaneously in Maltaya, Turkey. The houses were badly damaged by the earthquake and were in couldn't rebuild it. So they chose the logical option of getting rid of them and probably using the stone to sharp their shoes with. So check this out. This is the demolishing that they took the video of here. That is insane right there. Looks smaller from far away, but in reality that guy's pretty far away, and that was a huge fucking explosion. So that was something that happened in Turkey after the massive earthquakes that happened earlier that year, this year. We have an update on Wagner here as well. And all tents in Wagner PMC camps were dismantled in Belarus. This video shows a comparison of photos from December 9th to 18th. So we're going to get you this right here. I've kept an eye on that as well because I was looking out what I could find on PMC Wagner here and their troops. So we got a video here. So check this out. These are tents that was there, and now they're gone. So all the tents there, and all those on the right side there are tents, and they're just gone or being dismantled. So it proves to me that some of them are at least gone. I mean, looking at the back side here, you can see that these tents right here, which are also tents, are not gone, and many of them have in fact stayed. I think some of them have been removed, or at least some of them have maybe been upgraded or something like that. But this area over here at least has been either that these people here are not supposed to be there anymore, or they just decided that wasn't, yeah, I don't know. But also there's some of them, some more over here. But all those other ones over here are still here. So there are still some people there, but, yeah, I like to see as well. However, if you go to some of the Greek islands where you can actually see down into the fucking, water, I like that. I was eyeing Icarus, by the way. Was it Icarus? No. Yeah, some of those Greek islands that was on, they had some water that was just amazing. I mean, I saw turtles. I was out there fucking. I like when I can see what's underneath, and those islands and some of those, there's no marine life really anywhere that you can hurt your feet on or anything like that. It's just amazing. So, yeah, especially all because there's so many people there, so the fishes usually stay away from that area as well, and it's pretty warm, and you know. There isn't any sharks and anything. And the only thing you can see is turtles, and you see some pretty big turtles. But yeah, pretty cool. There was some weird news coming out from Iran. Strange incident in Iran while reports claim a drone has crashed in the city of Gorgan, north of Iran. It appears that tens of small munitions exploded around the city due to possible technical failure of ballistic missile launch. Part of the missile fell in a residential building. Streets heavy damage has been reported. So check this out right here. There was a failed some kind of missile test or ballistic test here in Iran. Got the video here for you. This area over here, over there. And yes, those buildings are not damaged. These buildings are just how they look. So that being what we've seen there are probably fires, but yeah, some was happening. You see people getting out to check it out. Oh, it's multiple areas as well. Look over there, fire going on over there. It's a technical issue. Oh, you can hear another explosion there. We're in the background there. That's from here, by the way. So we don't know what happened right there, but yeah. I don't know what that is. It looks like it could be like some kind of big ass drone or something like that. I really don't know what that is. Looks like some missile launcher or something like that. I don't know. No idea what that was. So that's happening in Iran. Keep an eye on that. Israel has also had some things happen. Okay, so in Israel, protests against the judicial reform carried out by the Netanyahu government have been taking place for the 47th week, and as noted, thousands of people simultaneously came out to demonstrate in different areas of Tel Aviv. Due to this, many streets in the city were closed to traffic. Let us recall that in January, the Israel authorities announced the plan to overhaul the judicial system. The reform is partitional, provides for the transfer of control over to the selection process of Supreme Court justice to the parliament of majority. Got some videos for you as well. It's happening in Israel. Real all-around news here today, guys. I'm gonna empty out the pocket of news going on here. This is not a new thing. It's something that's been going on for a while. Doing out the plaques there. Yeah. Relatively peaceful when you think about it. I mean, it's very, very relatively peaceful. Yeah, I don't look like anything's really happening. China to tell about it. It's up to us. Yeah. I'm looking around. It's not you know, aggressively. It's very peaceful looking. If there's anything really happening there, we got an LGBT. Is that rainbow flag down there, or is that? I don't know what that is. What's going on here in Israel today? A lot of people came out. Reminds me of some kind of scenes that you see in the U.S. that's happened some time ago as well. The LGBTQ flag over there. Think of this. That was what's happening there in Israel. This is the continuous thing, and keep an update on it, of course. We got air raids going off here, and there's explosion in Kharkiv, and I think air raids going on in Donetsk. It looks like Kramatorsk is on, and a continuous thing right now. News from Belarus. Lukashenko insists that Belarusians are the most peace-loving nation, and there will be no war in Belarus. Well, that's great to hear. Peace-loving may not be the ideal conditions there, but it's good to hear you don't want no wars. That's good. Belarus has started military exercises near the border with Lithuania and Poland. So this is the next thing as well. So we're peace loving as well. And then the next thing is Belarus has started military exercises near the border with Lithuania and Poland, and the Hushchitska training ground and the Grodno region. Belarusian Ghana reports. Got the video for you there as well. I don't know. This is not the video from the. I don't know if this was the video from the area, but we got a special video here showing them. Look at that. I think I've seen this one before, but it's just to show why. This is what the training of Belarusian soldiers looks like. Pretty sure I've shown this one before, yeah. But they're still exercising near the borders. They've been doing it for a while. Yeah, around the table. So strong. Strong man. Strong man. Oh yeah, there you go. Yes. Yes. Combat big capabilities. Combat. Jesus Christ. There you go. That's what I got for you for news today. We're gonna head over to Flight Trader to take a look at, and then we're gonna head over to Deep State just to take a look at the advancements, and you can see full hand there. We're gonna head to Flight Trader on 88 speed to give you the updates on the plane news over around the world. Let me give you the plane news here. Okay, come along with me. So in the U.S. we have a Top Cat right there. I think it's a river joint. Yeah, it's a river joint. More areas here in the U.S. actually turning on. Something's definitely happening there. Two Top Cat, the Top CT. I like to call them Top Cat. The sign names is they're not Top Cats. Their sign names Top CT. You get it. The river joints RC-135V river joint. Electronic. You know, they're over the middle of the U.S. Not unusual. Tankers, DC. Yeah. Nothing serious. We got an F-16 out here, Lightning Falcon. So, I also believe that this is the area in where we may have that F-35 it crash. So there also maybe this F-16 is out for a lookout for that one. We got other. Look at that. That one right there has also been doing some kind of rip around. So as well as showed the videos earlier as well, the images of that. Over in the Europeans, we have a NATO 21 E3 doing rounds around in the North Sea here. So that is not something we see every day. Some tankers. A124 took off from in Poland. NATO 11 as well. 2 E3s in Europe right now. Not always we see that. We got one going on here in doing infinity circles here just outside the Black Sea in Romania. Pretty usual conditions here, especially during the constant threats for these threats from these UAV attacks or up the protection area there. And and Boeing 747 looks like it's heading towards Niger. That's barely something. What's that from? We don't know. It took off from some United Arab Emirates. Well, we got something going on there. It's probably a Russian plane right there. A Russian cargo plane took off from China. Surprise, surprise. Nothing to report in the Pacific, really. We got one plane over here, Super Hercules. Not the picture of there. Let's get you over to 88B. See what's happening there. Always got some more interesting planes over there. This is just to give you a rundown if there's anything special happening. or to give you the learning of what all these planes do. Yeah, then I gotta wait for the, yeah, there you go. Because I want to support free content. I'm giving you fucking coverage. Come on. Kawasaki C2. That's a surveillance plane right there over Japan. Japanese military. Oh, we got some more planes over. We got a, what do we got? We got a C5. Yeah. Tanker. A C5. A lot of heavy equipment going around. Those are big birds. Biggest military transport in the U.S. C5 Galaxy. Yeah, not really anything serious. We got some P8s. Not the first time we're gonna see some P8s up over America. A lot of P8s actually. P8s, of course, being sub hunters and actually carrying torpedoes. So you got the E6 heading over New Mexico. All right, a bit of an air activity going on here. Nothing unusual. Well, thank you very much, Desire. You have a good night. Thank you for stopping by, wherever it was. Good night. Okay. Well, P8s, Spartan, transport. A lot of P8s up. We're checking out that. Not unusual activity. Yeah, not anything really unusual. We got those two river joints there. Training planes, C-17s, which are the Goldmasters. So transports. We got the Osprey there, which is a lot of air activity going on down here. I don't see that. A lot of Blackhawks and a lot of Ospreys here. Check this out. A lot of fucking Ospreys. Well, sorry, choppers. And two Ospreys. So definitely, I don't know what the hell they're doing down here, but they're definitely conducting some kind of large military exercise. Look at that. They got a lot of Blackhawks up. What the hell is going on out here? There's some kind of massive military exercise. It ought to be, because, I mean, there's a lot of Blackhawks they got going up. Holy shit. No, but that's a lot of Blackhawks to have out flying right now. Well, we probably won't really know, but I'm betting on the idea that it's an exercise. We got more Blackhawks over here as well. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, and over here as well. What the fuck is what the fuck happened? Oh, no, that's not Blackhawks. All right. Oh, the chopper's up. Those aren't even named. Over here as well. And we got some... Oh, yeah, all right. Well, a lot of stuff happening down here in California. Unusual activity, and we've seen some of this happen before. It's just on the Mexico border. Well, you have to see if anything happens. However, let's get into deep state news here. Deep State Live. Get you some of that. See around Bakhmut. See if anything has happened. Check this out. So this was the, they haven't really updated that report yet. Then it pushes around in there and, you know, down here to Nest. But I haven't really updated it from the 18th. All we know is that there's been significant pushes here around in the Zaporizhia and in Bakhmut. And we're going to get to see that on Deep State probably tomorrow. Just want to point that out. So we can't really get anything right now. Let's get on to Twitter and let's just see what is happening on Twitter. Other than that, I don't really have anything else to tell you. There's some snow on screen tonight. Snow? Oh, there's some snow coming in. What do you say? Well, I don't think it's going to be a problem for Ukrainians. Well, historically, winters in Ukraine and Russia has been very harsh. The Siberian winds comes in. However, you got to think about, you know, who has the best equipment and has the best equipment to tolerate the heat. The Ukrainians have best, you know, they have modern boots. They have clothes that can actually fight in the winters. So I believe that it's not going to be a problem for Ukrainians at all. I believe it's going to be a problem for the Russians. That very likely are not going to be provided great, you know, military grade winter clothing. They were given that during the start you know, in September, well, we got February, we moved towards the start of the winter month there. But, you know, as we started to do that, that was when they could kind of afford to get some window closing. Now they are not going to give them. So no, I don't think it's going to be a problem for the Ukrainians. But historically, you know, you don't make a lot of advances in winter time. So that's why they're trying to get out there most of their agendas now, you know, to push through and you know, put a big pressure on the Russians. But however, I do think that they're trying to try to make some infantry pushes. The hardest thing in winter, of course, is the, you know, vehicles and stuff like that when the ground isn't particularly hard. But yeah, we're gonna have to see it, you know, Patrick. I think last winter the Russians had some kind of advantage still, but now, no, I don't think the Russians have any advantage anymore. I think the Russians are gonna feel the winter really hit them hard, and the Ukrainians are gonna get a lot of help from outside, I believe. So yeah, no, I don't think it's going to be any real problem for the Ukrainians to last the winter. I certainly don't think so. So yeah, that's my beliefs there. A new record for Chinese military activity around Taiwan. So another thing that we keep an eye on. I showed some video yesterday. There were a lot of tanks moving on a railroad inside China, moving towards what appears to have been the coast. We keep an eye on this China-Taiwan situation. A lot of stuff. China is making their moves right now, so check this out. 103 aircraft and 9 ships were seen around the island today, with 14 aircraft crossing the Strait Median Line. So the Strait Median Line is the line that, you know, so it's like you're crossing into a territory, economic zone, or maritime control area. So, you know, so check that out. So they've crossed in, and we've seen this happening. You got to check out a map of when, you know, China has gone over with their aircraft. Seems like they're sizing up. This is definitely a show of force, I would imagine. However, it's getting more frequent, and we are keeping a close eye on it. But it's a serious situation still happening around. I'm going to retweet this around here from Class Report. Pretty cool researcher there. EU prepared 12 package of sanctions against Russia and Bloomberg. It will include a ban on trade with Russian diamonds, as well as mechanisms for extracting profits from frozen Russian assets to transfer to help Ukraine. Poland and Baltic states also proposed to include a ban on trade Russian liquefied natural gas and ban on purchase of Russian IT services in new sanctions. So, good to hear there. They're definitely doing their parts there. And don't worry, the sanctions, they were not working to start with. That's when they said that they had the reserve, so the idea that they could still hold it up. But no, now the sanctions are definitely starting to hit. Check out some videos, you know. You're going to see that the sanctions are starting to hit them hard. So, yeah. Duda and Zelensky will discuss grain exports in New York. They're to meet tomorrow on the sidelines in the UN General Assembly session. Earlier, Duda said that he intended to discuss the issue. He's from Poland, by the way. Duda said to intend to discuss the issues of Ukrainian grain with Zelensky, but such talks were not included in the official schedule of Polish president visits to the United States at that time. So, pretty cool there. The Pushkin administration has a hole in it. Oh, there's another angle of that video we saw here. So this is from, I believe, from Donetsk. Check this out. It's got a tiny hole in it, guys. It's got a tiny hole in it. It's got a little hole in it. So yeah, tiny little hole there. Yeah, otherwise than that, not really getting a lot of, yeah. I think Flash uploaded something. We're going to watch this. Let me just see something real quick. We have the daily news about Ukraine due to the 18th of September. Probably going to repeat some of the things we have already seen, but this is from Flash. So we're going to leave you with this right here. I'm going to go silent in the background here. I'm going to get some drink, stretch out a bit. So we're going to watch this 5 minutes.
Килограмм 367 грамм. Так,
Кислота.
Прилеты. Прямо сейчас.
А что мне делать?
Жесть, что творится. Донецк, центр.
Ну это как тебе сказать?
Yeah, pretty much just saying that we had to talk about there, so not a lot of difference there, although a little bit of a finer detail there. Cool stuff, cool stuff, cool stuff all happening around. Ukraine needs to kick out more than 200,000 Russian soldiers to win chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff General Mac Miller. So he said that Ukraine, complete victory of Ukraine could take a long time. After all, for complete victory, it's necessary to expel all Russian occupiers. It's a high bar. Current offenses of the Ukrainian armed forces, although important, has limited operational and tactical goals. Even if they are fully achieved, the Ukrainian armed forces will not knock out all Russians, which is the greater strategic goal set by President Zelensky, Miller said. Well, got a point. It's not like they don't think that they're going to push out all the Russians. The plan is that they're going to push out the Russians. I think the end goal is to put so much pressure on the Russians that they're going to get out of there. Which is attritional war, right? The reports of Kadyrov originally died in hospital 2 days ago. Ukrainian intelligence said that Ukrainian was in coma. It has not been officially confirmed. And a 9-second video of Kadyrov from an unknown date was released, as one Russian propaganda says, time will tell. So yeah, time will tell, and we're still a little bit confused about it. I don't know. I mean, it's just a confusing situation. This is these guys, it gets confusing. Chechnya has sent Ukraine 12 shipments of humanitarian aid that will help make Ukraine energy grid more resilient to Russian attacks. Great stuff there. We also had the energy chief talking about just such things, that they're going to be doing more of these, more of these sort of infrastructure rebuilding. So we have the UN meeting that I was talking about earlier. So we got a video from it. I'll show you that. These are Ukrainian and Russian officials in the same room. So it's a tense situation. This is the UN international something. How? What they call it? Yeah. Some kind of. Well, we got the judge in the middle, I think. Red coat there. Yeah. So. I think you got Russian and Ukrainian left or something like that. I think. I don't know. I'm not sure. But these are videos from it, and these are going to be taking place, and they're going to prosecute the Russians for alleged murders that has gotten to a bigger point. 1 second. Sorry. Had to close up the door there. Alright, well, thank you very much for that. Yeah, I mean, I think I've pretty much exhausted the news that came from today. The Polish border guard and the Central Bureau of Investigation had arrested a 40-year-old woman working as a migration activist along the border of Poland and Belarus. Prosecutor says 13 migrant paid members of her activist group announced a group around 5,000 euro for help to enter Poland. So, dirty worker there. Yeah, and you saw in the video, they have got this new equipment here. Mine clearing machine Reno K600 South Korea. South Korea will send 2 K600 Reno mine clearing vehicles to Ukraine. It was also shown in the flash video. Although not a lethal weapon, the vehicle is the most combat ready equipment South Korea has ever sent to Ukraine. And this will, was it mine clearing? Yeah, it's a beast, and it's going to help out clear out the mines much, much quicker. So, yeah. Great stuff there. Yeah, I'm not really sure there's anything really else to say. I mean, we exhausted what's going on, Exhausted the news, guys. So, I think I'm going to end the stream here. There's not really anything else that I can say. Other than that, we're going to come back with more tomorrow. So, tune in tomorrow. Go follow my Twitter for some of the exclusive ones that you cannot see on the stream because of, the YouTube rules. Have a good night, and I will see you all again tomorrow. Thank you so much for stopping by. You stayed through the whole video. Thank you so much. You are a legend. If you did not, then you're still a legend. I will see you all on the other side tomorrow with more news. Although this was only like a 29 page today. Yesterday we had like 42 pages. So I don't know, let's see. It's a little of a slow news day. Although, that drone crashing down in Bulgaria, something we have to investigate. But I'll bring you more tomorrow with it, probably. So have a good night and good.